What's up, Supreme Team? Welcome to the channel. Listen, come on in, you guys. Look, so many people are up in arms about why Melody isn't promoting the show. Like, content creators are divided, subscribers are divided, people are being sent after people's channels. Child, there is so much going on. And it's all around. Listen, if Melody isn't promoting the show, why are you guys talking about the show? Well, I'm going to tell you what I know, okay? So be sure to stick around, hit that like button right now, okay? Also share this video because that's how others find me here on YouTube. I am DYANAROZAY, and I bring a unique commentary to your favorite reality TV shows and whatever is popping on social media. I go by DYANAROZAY on all platforms, okay? So check me out on everything. Here is the content disclaimer, the fair use disclaimer, and if you have to hear it out loud, I am talking about pop culture, reality TV. It's for entertainment purposes only, and these are all comments and opinions. It's just alleged, okay? Now, I have to say all of that. Now, let's get into all of the other things where I have actual proof, okay? So, starting with this audio, please check it out.
I will say that, and my brother says this about me too, because he's like, I bet if he had came to you and apologized, knowing you and how your heart is, you probably would have forgave him and never even filed and signed the warrant. And he may be a little right, but maybe not. But what I will.
Okay, so Melody was talking really fast there, but she is at the podcast with Carlos King. A lot of people, a lot of you in this listening to this audio probably already heard it before, but she is telling her experience, her real life experience that a lot of women have with filing charges against their ex-husbands or baby's father, right? She is sitting there and she's conflicted. She said basically that her brother says to her that you have a heart so big that if Martell would have come to you and apologized, you probably would have accepted it and not even had gone down to sign the warrant. And she said, maybe not, maybe not. But again, this is real life. People are asking for what really happens in reality TV. This is real life. And she is saying this to everybody, basically being as vulnerable as she can be and sharing this story. So I'm going to replay this and let it play out into the end so you can hear the full thing.
I will say that, and my brother says this about me too, because he's like, I bet if he had came to you and apologized, knowing you and how your heart is, you probably would have forgave him and never even filed and signed the warrant. And he may be a little right, but maybe not. But what I will say is, anytime you have to go through with making such a tough decision that you know impacts your children as well, that's always tough, man. That's always tough. But I think there had been just so many transgressions, one after the other, after the other, after the other. And no matter how many times I sat back at times and tried to keep my mouth closed and see, you think if I'm saying nothing, it'll die down. They'll leave me alone, just please leave me alone. But I also have a breaking point too, where I'm like, okay, they ain't leaving me the hell alone.
So she said, I tried to keep my mouth closed. I tried to just sit back. And there was been so many transgressions, which we all were privy to. There's a lot of people who have followed this online. It happened back in May when Carson Blue had come out and shared that Ariane, Martell's baby's mother, told her that there was a tape and that Martell had wanted, most of you know the story. Y'all can pay attention to what's going to happen on tonight's premiere. But Martell had this plan, right, to put out this videotape. And that is the plot that Carson Blue had put out. That's where the Revenge P tape comes from. Now, it did not happen. This tape was not released publicly, but a lot of people believe that he shared it with others. Ariane has admitted to seeing it, so we know that's one person he shared it with. But people believe that people in the cast have seen it, perhaps people in production have seen it. And Melody at this time, I believe it was May again of 2023, she came on live and shared what she knew about it, saying, I'm aware that this plot was in existence. She also said that Carson just confirmed what she already knew. And she was just, kind of going with the flow. By the way, they were taping 6B. So 6A was airing where we see Carson Blue. They were filming, I believe, 6B when all of this mess went down, or they were about to film 6B. So the entire cast was aware of what had been leaked out to the internet. And then there was another blogger sometime in June or July who released the audio where you can actually hear Ariane admitting to seeing the tape, admitting to the plot that Martell had against his ex-wife to create a IG page, a fake IG page, and pretend like it was another man, as opposed to him and her, a husband and a wife who had shared something intimate. Now, all of this is, again, going to be shared on the premiere, but all of this played out in 2023. So that audio airs. Melody is filming with Martell. And if you guys remember, or at least the cast is filming, and if you guys remember, there is a scene in Houston where Martell says, she tried to send me to jail. She tried to put me in jail. And people are trying to say that scene, which would have, I guess it would have been July, correct? Because I went back to look and to see when they filmed in July. They filmed in July the Houston scene. They filmed the Houston scene in July, and here's a timestamp so you can see it. So the night that we found out that Martell was wearing his old wedding ring was July 15th of 2023, and you can see Chris and Martell having their little hats on. They were actually on that ranch where the counselor was, right? So stay with me. I'm trying to give y'all a timeline. This is when this happens. Melody is still on set. She's filming. Y'all remember there's a scene when she gets to the house in Houston where she tells Chris and Nell, do not put me in anything with Martell. Don't put me in a room beside Martell. Don't put me in any activities with Martell. I'm not playing, she says to them. And they're like, okay. And then in her confessional, I think the production team is trying to get her to talk about it because it's already out there. And she doesn't say. She actually says something like, everyone knows at this point what Martell has done. And she leaves it at that. But everybody kind of talked around those audios that have been released, even though they were filming at the time. Okay. And then Mel tells us when she filed the actual warrant. Okay. So I'll let you hear that. Check this out.
When I made that decision, it was back in August, September of last year, sorry, we're in 2023. I actually flew Lauren in and I said, I gotta go do this and I need somebody to be here with me to make sure I do what I know I need to do.
Okay. So just to be clear, she said it was around August, September 2023. And she asked Lauren, her makeup artist and her friend, to come in and help her, just walk with me, hold my hand so that I can do what I need to do in this situation. Because again, so many transgressions, I'm tired. I need to move forward.
So she was like, all right, I'm on my way. And she flew in and drove me because I'd never gone and had to, sign for a warrant, press charges, do any of that. So I didn't even really know where to begin. I was just hitting places. She drove me to those places, gave, the strength of her, my mom, my team. They knew what I was doing in the moment. And when the magistrate said, when I showed him the evidence and he was like, do you want a warrant? I said, yes, I do. He said, all right, I'm about to go get you a warrant. That was August. Somebody said you should have did it for both of them. Let me tell you why that part for that doesn't work for both parties, because it's based on Legally wise is another piece, but the lawsuit wise is another piece. The warrant, the direct piece has to come from exactly from that person. So the source, right? And so after that.
Okay, and that was also from the podcast, and she's just basically saying, listen, she had to file the warrant against Martell. It was the image that he had sent to her of the two of them together, where he basically is threatening her. And like, I'm going to send this out to everybody. And we all know that Martell had gotten arrested for it, right? Just make sure. We all know that Martell had gotten arrested for it, and he deserved to get arrested for it at that point. He definitely was pushing it to the limit. Martell had gotten arrested on January 9th, 2024. And this is a article. Martell, star of Oprah Winfrey's hit reality TV show, Love and Marriage Huntsville, is facing charges for domestic violence and harassing communications. He was booked into the Madison County Jail on Tuesday at 4:02 and later released at 7:01. And then Marceau Scott, the co-star, gave a comment or a statement where he said, "I've heard the unfortunate news and my thoughts and prayers go out to all involved." I think that's what the end part is. Let me see, I can take the banner off. To everyone involved in this terrible situation. Okay, now I'm gonna put my banner back up. Okay, so we know that's how it played out. And so that's what we're watching now. We're gonna watch to see how much of this timeline actually plays out on TV. Now, Melody did not come out ahead of this season to promote it, right? And a lot of people are saying there's something that horrible that happened on set. None of these people can be trusted. We're tired of them picking on Melody, playing on Melody. If she's not promoting it, it is speaking volumes. But y'all, this isn't the first time that Melody has not promoted a season. There was also the season that also involved her children and her and Martell being in court. I believe it was ahead of that, the season where Martell and her did not film together, because Martell had come out and said she accused me of child abuse or, abuse. And she's trying to get me, I haven't seen my kids in whatever many days, right? Well, Mel didn't promote that season, and she came out after and said, listen, this had to do with my children, and I really didn't want to talk about it at all. I didn't want to talk about it at all. So her promoting the season, since it was a court case, would have made it look kind of bad. You know what I'm saying? And people may understand what I'm saying. At the end of the day, this is in court, and I don't want it to be misunderstood. This is serious for me. This isn't, play. Melody going and talking to people, or promoting it and having people ask questions about it, questions she can't answer anyway because she's in court, is a problem. So she'd rather pull back. And it makes sense for this season too, from what everybody has read and have been talking about for weeks. Melody is still in court with Martell for some of the same charges, and this new case with the domestic violence and harassing communications charge. And promoting the season, saying things that could be used against her is not what she wants to do. This is serious for her, and she wants to treat it seriously, even though we're going to be watching the show. A lot of us will. I'm sure the show is going to be a much more sanitized version than anything that has actually happened to her. But I think that is something to take in consideration. That's my opinion. Okay. I think that's something to take into consideration, that she is not saying anything because she literally, this is her life and it is in court, and she can't say a whole lot. And people deep dive into not just Melody and Martell's life, but the entire cast life. So sometimes when we're saying we're not watching the show, we're not going to watch this show because it is, we want to support Mel and not give it any ratings. Just so that people are aware, whether you're a content creator or a subscriber, if you talk about this show, period, or if you talk about the people on the show, you're still giving it ratings because no one knows them outside of the show. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't walk into a grocery store or Walmart and say, "Hey, did you hear about what happened to Maurice?" Blah, 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 blah. No one's going to know what you're talking about. They're going to be like, "Who's Maurice? What show is that?" You know what I'm saying? Like the most famous Maurice I know is Maurice White. He was like the band leader or the leader of Earth, Wind, and Fire, and he's not with us anymore. So I don't know who you're talking about if you just said randomly Maurice. And I blog, so I'll be like, who are you talking about? Maurice? Maurice from the show? Like I would have to ask. So it doesn't have the same. If you went to a store, for instance, and said Oprah or Denzel, you're more than likely going to immediately think Oprah Winfrey, Denzel Washington, right? So, if you are doing stories like this 365 days a year, if you're talking about the affairs, the separations, the breakups, side chicks, pimps, hoes, drug lords, drug addicts, mental health, calling people all kinds of mental health names, right? Sexual health, physical health, dental work, new teeth, little teeth, cosmetic surgeries, BBLs, legs, breasts, hips, lace front wigs, AliExpress clothing, consignment shop clothing, hell, too tight clothing, shoes in or out of a box. If you're talking about that 365, you are promoting the show. I heard a video the other day where someone was talking about how someone's cooch smells. Literally, that was the topic. That was a topic. Bumps on the lips, ashy lips, weight loss, weight gain, lawsuits, loans, who's rich, who's broke. That's all things that people talk about 365 off season. And y'all, they take these stories that the bloggers say all 365 days and they use it on the show. Children born in wedlock, illegitimate children. These were conversations had on the show. Children had with cousins, fake marriages, baby mamas, regular mamas, child. Family members, friends, associates, managers, makeup artists are coming out and having conversations, stylists, chemists, post office employees, drivers are famous, vacations. Child, Alibaba skincare is now a new topic. Again, arrests, which we've talked about, forgery, Crime Stopper videos, criminal records, custody hearings, court dates, their homes, their second homes, child, cars, their mama's cars, warehouses, closed businesses, failed businesses, fraud businesses, who got new sales. All of these stories, y'all, every single last one of them, every single last one of these stories are things that people talk about all the time. This is Love and Marriage Huntsville all the time, y'all. So at the end of the day, people are still promoting the show. I don't know how we don't think about it like that, but we are. We're promoting them because no one knows them outside of that. And there is a YouTube community that follows this show and really has made it popular, but not because we watch when the show's on season. It's because we watch all damn season. We have kept up with all of these stories all season long. Okay. So that's just something to take in consideration. Just something to take in consideration. And y'all remember just another part of the timeline, because I remember having this topic come up where I said, this is from my Facebook group. We were talking about Stormi's birthday party, right? I had thought that they wrapped filming in July, right? In July with the Houston trip. So around July 15th, I was like, the season's done. But there were some people who thought that Stormi's birthday party was going to be the season finale. And I remember asking, did anyone get an invite to Stormi's 35th birthday party on July 29th? They said production wrap filming after the cast party in Houston. That's what I had heard. And a lot of people were trying to figure it out, right? Because cameras were there. Y'all remember Tisha had this video where we got to see Kimmy without her wig on. It was hot as hell in Alabama. There's Tiffany, there's Nell Fletcher, there's Melody. And then there's also some cameras back there. So I don't know if Stormy hired a camera crew or if they were actually filming it. Actually, I think they were filming it because I do remember Carson Blue saying that she thought she might be a part of that season finale if they aired it. So this was, again, just a part of the timeline. Melody has filmed. She was at Stormy's birthday party. And then in August, maybe late August, early September, she still went and got her warrant. And here is just more footage. And I believe that Wanda was taking this video, and she's showing Martell, and then she's showing her cousin Kiki. And we know that Kiki and Wanda had fallen out. But Kiki was over there dancing, and Wanda's like, look at my niece. She's so pretty. I remember hearing that video, just complimenting her away. And she was showing herself, right? Dancing and enjoying herself. But look, y'all, and there's Wanda's, y'all know who that is, y'all. I don't have to tell y'all. Anyway, y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments. I think that it very much could do with the fact that promoting could lead to people asking questions that she can't answer. It just wouldn't be the right thing to do. Also, um, it's just really sensitive. He could definitely Carlos could get other people to promote the show. And it's been promoted. I've said this already. It's been promoted since May of 2023, if you want to be honest, okay? So let's talk about Messy Mondays, child. Carlos King, and damn it, Messy Mondays, y'all. He is in a little bit of trouble, child. It looks like Carlos King is being accused of stealing the phrase Messy Mondays. There is a lady who has come out. She is on IG, but she came out the other day to show that she actually has a business name called Messy Mondays, and that she had paid for a meeting with Carlos King where she wanted to do, I guess, like some sort of beauty shop concept, something like that. And part of what they did is Messy Monday. So she's showing that this was her name. She had met with Carlos King. And isn't it interesting that he's calling his podcast with Heavenly Messy Mondays? And so I ended up, y'all, just Googling Messy Monday to see if there's like, if she has like a trademark on it. There's a lot of things called Messy Monday, I'll have to say. There are a lot of things called Messy Monday. There's books, there's t-shirts, and they're not her articles either. These are just random articles. Messy Monday kind of has the same kind of, I guess, it's like a catchphrase similar to Taco Tuesday. So a lot of people say it or use it. But y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments about Carlos King being exposed or being accused again of stealing stealing a show idea or a concept, some sort of idea. Let me know, because yeah, look, check this out, y'all. They're basically saying that they are a gossip group, and their gossip group was called Messy Monday. So y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments, child. If it's not one thing, it's another. But that's it. That's all I wanted to say. I appreciate you guys for listening. Let me know if you guys kind of agree or if you don't agree. Not even kind of agree. Let me know if you agree or you don't agree in the comments, okay? I will talk to you all on the next one.